So, Kemi Oloyede, this is your first exhibition in Barking, Dagenham. So, tell me more about you and what made you decide to do this exhibition. Why now? Why here?
Okay. So, I went to Yaba College of Technology, Nigeria's first premier sort of art college. And that's where I studied fine art. But my passion really started as a child because my parents noticed, my foster parents noticed I was talented, naturally talented as an artist. And I always wanted to be an artist or fashion designer. I wasn't quite sure how I was going to go about that, but I always wanted to do that. But even from a very young age, I had that ambition that I was going to achieve those goals. And I'm really grateful to God that I've been able to achieve that through education. So graduated from art school in the 90s from Yaba Tech. And then when I came back to England in 92, I went to Greenwich University to become a teacher, and my specialism was in fine art and textile technology. So that was quite fantastic for me, that I was still staying within my area of specialism and everything that I wanted to do. And then I was in teaching for about 21 years, teaching again my specialist subject, art and textile technology and fashion. And eventually I left about 4 years ago to start off my own business called the Soul London Project, which combines art and fashion. And the Soul London Project, what we do is basically teach children and adults how to sew. The children, we give them those skills, teach them how to sew and observe how to learn to do things like upcycling. Okay. With adults,
what does upcycling mean?
So upcycling means that you can repurpose a piece of fabric or garment or anything. I do it mainly in textiles because that's my area of specialism. So I would upcycle a garment into something else, repurpose it, give it a new lease of life. With adults, what we do is we give them the skills and get them back into employment within the textile and apparel industry.
That sounds really interesting. So, in purpose of today's exhibition and yesterday, because I know you started yesterday.
Yeah.
So, what inspires you? What's actually inspired this exhibition?
What inspired me was I've always had this huge passion for African proverbs and sayings. And for years I kept on saying that if I'm going to do a solo exhibition, it has to be based on that. I've always been intrigued by the way how African proverbs are and the weight of the African proverb. With African proverbs, we say so much in one sentence. It's a way of getting our words across. And you know, when your parents say something to you with a proverb, you understand totally. So I think that was where what was the ethos behind this. There's one in particular that I did that inspired me because of my mum, and it's based on another Yoruba proverb that talks about the fact that a young child may have many new clothes, but they cannot have as many rags as an elderly person, which means that you don't have as much wisdom and as experience as an elderly person, and it sums up mum really. And this is why I was inspired to do that. So for me, it's things that I've been exposed to, things that I've lived, things that I've seen and breathed, and everyone who's taken part in this or have attended so far can react. It's like each time when they find out the meaning of the work, it goes deeper and they go, yeah, I understand, I can relate to that. Yeah.
So tell me more about what you've done here today in terms of your artwork.
Okay, so this is a collection of about 10 pieces of art. And if I start from the one right in front of me, which is Freedom, which is the butterflies. And that really talks about freedom. And this came from a personal experience. And look, I'm being a Christian and talk about he that the Son is set free is free indeed. And I totally understood the meaning of this work came more alive to me about 3 years ago, where there were certain challenges I had to face, and I found out that, you know what, it's so good to be free, and the butterfly signifies that, and that's what made me do this piece of work.
Okay.
Yes.
And then we've got the one in front there, which is like a bloodbath.
Which is a bloodbath, which is called xenophobia. And again, this was...
Talk me through the thinking behind that.
So the thinking behind this, I remember I did this original work in 1992, and it was based on apartheid. And then it was me drawing attention to the plight of our people or black people in South Africa at the time. but I never exhibited this work.
Okay.
So it got to a point where now, when I had this exhibition, I remembered this work, and I thought, you know what, it's appropriate, this is the time it needs to come out. Again, it's still bloodbath, but it's based now
Black
on
on black.
black on black,
But
unfortunately, and the plight of Nigerians in South Africa at the moment, and what they're going through, and a lot of the attacks and the violence towards them, and that's what that was based on.
Well, it does say history tends to have a way of repeating itself, and I think the fact that you did it first in 1992 and it's still pertinent in 2019 says a lot about the world we live in nowadays. So where do you see, what are your plans about taking this forward?
So I'm hoping to do more exhibitions in the future, in London, Europe, and hopefully in Nigeria, the place of my
Sounds good.
my
I'm looking
origin.
forward to that.
I really am looking forward to doing that. I mean, so far the response has been amazing.
One of your artworks over there, and it's got a big no in red letters. So talk me through that. What does no mean?
That work actually means no means no. It means everything that it says. No means no. And again, it's trying to draw attention. I don't think you should be an artist for just doing pretty pictures. Your work's got to speak. It's got to talk about certain things, societal ills and issues going on. And one of the things that I'm very strong about in my heart at the moment is the no to knives, no to domestic violence, no to crime. And I felt the only way I could encapsulate it was to put it into that piece of work at the back, just behind us. And I think it speaks for itself, really. No means no.
I think I personally find the word no very, very freeing. Just that whole ability just to be able to say no. I mean it. It's very freeing. It's a very small word, but it's so powerful. And it's about taking ownership for your own life and not necessarily allowing anything or anyone to decide how you want your life to be. I like that. I really like that picture. Okay.
And then the other one, the one with the birds, because somebody asked me about that, and the birds looks like it's you're not quite sure whether it's been stuck on or it's been stitched on. But I've cleverly put together textiles that actually work, and basically that one talks about the Proverbs 26, I think, too, which says that as the swallow flies, as a swallow by flies, and as a bird by wandering, so shall the curse causeless not come. And again, being a Christian, it means a lot to me. And that is a scripture that I've stood on over and over and over again. That's given me so much strength and peace in a time when things have been tough. So I hold on to that scripture so strongly.
So you infuse a lot of your faith and your belief into your artwork.
Of course, definitely.
That really, I'm looking at your artwork and I can see elements of that, you using your faith in that artwork, which I think is really very interesting.
Thank you. And the last one, which is the really big one, it's actually a Ghanaian proverb in tree, and it basically means that a tree cannot stand alone by itself to withstand the storm. So basically you need people, you need a support system around you when you're going through things, to have people.
You can't do it by yourself.
You can't do it by yourself.
I found that in life. You do need to draw upon family, to draw upon friends, to draw upon the people that are around you in order to really achieve anything in life, because no man is an island, as John Donne said. So you've taken from the richness of Nigerian and African culture, because I can see something you've done behind that, so more Ghanaian, and decided to infuse it into your artwork.
Okay,
that's really nice, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more of it.
Thank you.